Hello, folks, friends, and fellas. So, this is part one of my Sonic collection because, well, I've already quite well completed it. I've already completed a decent amount of Jax's entire category of characters. Obviously, I will likely talk about new figures that will release. So I know you got Storm, you got the Cream release, you got Wave. Hopefully I could get Omega at some point. Charmy B I'm never getting because I won't even go into that. This is going to be a part one. I'm going to specifically talk about my mainline Jax specific collections. That's the main 4-inch and 2.5-inch ranges, both modern and classic. Any extra figures or variants that I have, I will talk about, and I will try and give a little bit of a story to how I got each figure, if there's a big story or not. I don't know which order I got them all in, but I do know some of the earlier ones that I've gotten. But yeah, I'll do a part 2 talking about my Lego most likely, which will be another decently long video, and possibly a part 3 or 4, I don't know. I'll be talking about other miscellaneous stuff if I can find it all around my bedroom. That'd be like Funko Pops, any other Jax figures that I have. Miniature Big the Cat. Yeah, I guess I'll try and get started. I think just to get it out of the way, I'm going to talk about the other figures. So any extras or spares or...
Oh yeah! This is happening!
So to start us off, we have my 35th anniversary Sonic, which is the weird, like, mold degraded one, which just kind of looks not good. I've taken off the hands and whatnot and stuck it on my main Sonic figure, which I don't know what wave he's from, but all I know he's an older one. He doesn't look very melty. Yeah, here's a, I don't know what Sonic. Oh wait, no, this is my soap shoe Sonic without the soap shoes, and I think with different hands. I might have, I don't know. None of these two are my original Sonic, nor is my main one. My original Sonic, unfortunately, had a leg injury. And I never really roughhoused it or anything, so yeah. My old one, my original one, broke. There was a time where I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. So I just kind of, I took off the hands and the shoes and the head. And I just sort of, I threw the body away, which I kind of wish I didn't do. I kind of wish that I kept the entire figure and sort of preserved it. It was a Wave 2 Sonic, so it was the like the toothy smile Sonic with the board. And also Metal Virus Sonic, which I absolutely went insane when I first saw the listing on Smith's, or the announcement or whatever, that it's coming to the UK. I'm happy I got him, but I'm still waiting on Tangle and Whisper. Oh boy. Anyways, that about does it for X. These are really my only duplicate figures of any sort, or variants. Yeah, if we're talking about Metal Virus Sonic. I think... Oh, that's my door. I got the window open, that's not good. I think I'll probably go into 2.5-inch next. Yeah, okay.
Snooping as usual, I see.
So, 1 to 2.5-inch figures. Anyways, here's my first 2.5-inch figure that I got my 13th birthday, where Smith still had the mainline 2.5-inch classic figures. I mean, his head mold looks great. Like, they actually got the classics, like, they got the Sonic quills how they're meant to be, where the one quill's actually in the middle. But I really hate how that face is, and he looks like he's always, like, facing up in a weird... He looks so emotionless. I do like the chili dog, though. overall, not really the best figure. I would still like a standard 2.5 inch, which you can get for cheap on Vinted if it's used, most likely. And it's in most playsets, but I don't have the space for playsets. But yeah, here's Amy, which I got not last year. I got it Christmas 2024. I believe I just saw her and Eggman, which I completely forgot to get. Yosh. Anyways, yeah, I got her and Eggman. I just saw them in an entertainer sometime in December, before Christmas. What is he? So fat. Yeah, I saw them both in an entertainer just before Christmas. So I got them sort of as a Christmas present. Tails, I believe I got Tails as a reward. I saw him on the entertainer, same with the running Sonic. They were both recently available at the entertainer. And so I bought one with my own money, and I bought the other, or I got the other as a reward of sorts. I do think that this is the best classic Tails figure. I don't care what anyone says. And then the running Sonic as well, which is really the best that Sonic has ever looked in 2.5 inch. Unless you count like that recent Chili Dog Sonic, or I don't know, something else. But like, they got his head perfect. He's got open hands, which is what the 4-inch one should have always had. I mean, he did get them in that one large running Sonic pack, is like a 4-inch one. But yeah. That's really my only modern Sonic 4-inch figure, unless you count the shell. But yeah, here's the shell. I believe I got this from my friend also for my 13th or 14th birthday, I believe. I don't know. Anyways. And if you count this one, because he hasn't had an individual release in anywhere whatsoever, Zombot Froggy, who was an accessory with Zombot Sonic, and this is the only accessory that I'll include in my list video, or whatever. But yeah, there's that. I still don't know why he released in like 2024 now, 2023 or something. And he still hasn't gotten a standard release. No. Anyways, finally, probably one of my favourite things that I have. It needs a dust as well. The Sonic car. What's it called? Let me get the box. I still have the box. The Revit Racer. The Speedstar Lightning Revit Racer. I don't have the Shadow. I would like to get the Shadow. Because it's been on Argos for a few months now for like £13. And get a Sonic for 20 total, so... That's nice. Yeah, I found this guy in an Asda. Just before. It wasn't just before Christmas. It was. Pardon me. I think it was near the end of November. Oh yeah, it was near the end of November. It was the day that I went to the Festival of Railway Modelling at the NEC in Birmingham. We went to an Asda for shopping or whatever. I looked in the toy aisle, guess what I found? I found the Sonic. I might have seen Shadow as well. I know that like a week or a few weeks prior to that, I did find Shadow. And I was like, oh yeah, they actually are getting stock. I have found them. I have seen a few people finding these in the UK. So I was really excited to find the Sonic, and so I sort of, similar to my my Amy and Eggman, I got them both as like a sort of an early Christmas present. So that day, Christmas shopping, I got my Batman Toad and a cool car. Anyways, it literally is just a standard. I don't know what wave this is, but it's just a standard 2.5 inch Sonic with the thumbs up. I like him. Actually, I never cared much for the 2.5 inch Sonic. At least the two standard ones, the like the pointing finger on and the thumbs up one. But after getting this and looking at a few videos and whatever, I actually gained a real liking to how his head... Like, I actually think that this looks better than the 4-inch release, and that includes his expressions, like the angry one and the smiley one, which, again, was my original Sonic. But I think it looks great. Yeah, I think that just about does it for the 2.5-inch section, at least, if we're you know, talking about the main line. Anyways... I'm about done with that. Moving on to 4-inch.
Hey, Macarena!
Oh boy, I've got a proper camera set up now. I'm using 2 dinosaurs to hold up my phone. Anyways, first figure, as expected. I think everyone is gonna know what the first figure is in a Sonic collection video. Guess who it is? It's Shadow the Hedgehog. First figure, actually, here's Sonic. This is, I don't know what wave it is, but it is a wave Sonic. Anyways, this one is an older one, so he still kind of has a matte look to him, and it doesn't look as shiny as it does on the mold degraded ones of recent years. This one, I don't know what wave it is, but I have given it the anniversary hand, so it's got the open hand with the emerald, because that's the pinnacle of hand making, and the closed hand as well, because, don't believe it or not, it is a different mold. I really don't know how to focus on this camera, but it looks blurry. And obviously, if it wasn't obvious, obviously it wasn't. I've given him the soap shoes from, guess what, Soap Shoe Sonic. Because, yeah, they're a bit awkward to get on, the soap shoes. The hands weren't too bad. Yeah, that's Sonic. Stick him in the back. Stick him in the back. Here we have one of my oldest figures that I currently still own. It's Tails. I don't know what wave this is, but this is one of the earlier wave Tails from. Well, I would have got this for my 11th birthday. I 100% know that. This is when my only Sonic figure up to this point was my original Sonic, my Wave 2 Sonic. I'll bring him up a lot in this video. With the broken leg, obviously. I did have a 4-inch classic Sonic, which is I still have as well. It's a shame that it's the worst classic figure, because we constantly get it, and like Tails and Metal Sonic, they're basically perfect. Those are the only 2 I have. I haven't really bothered about the 4-inch classic figures. I do like them, but space is a problem. Anyways, back to Tails. He does have a bit of a chip on his torso, if I can focus on that. No, it won't focus. No, it won't focus. Anyways, I won't bother. I'm sure you can see it slightly blurry. Anyways, yeah, he does have a chip on his torso. I'm not sure if that was a factory thing, or if that was me from... I never really rough housed my stuff, so I don't know where that came from. He has a wrench from the Buildable Tails by, I don't know what company it was, but it is from a Buildable Tails figure. It was a classic Tails figure. I do have that somewhere. That will probably be in like a miscellaneous video or whatever. But yeah, I did give him that because luckily it fits perfectly in the hand. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Tails. I think he could do with a better head, or a better expression at least, because that he's just blank. But yeah, overall, he's an okay figure. Oh boy, this video is going to be long. I should really rush through all these. Here's a figure that I don't have much to say about. Here's Knuckles from the I'm thinking it's from the same wave as Blaze. Or did Blaze release? No, yeah. This Knuckles. This is the redo Knuckles. I don't think Knuckles has been re-released since this. At least not in a mainline wave. Yeah, this is that Knuckles. I quite like him. I mean, he still sucks at posing, as with all Knuckles figures. But that's Knuckles. Almost cleared out the bottom shelf now. Here I have Amy. Now this one has a more interesting story. This used to be my friend's, which was from the 30th anniversary. Well, one of the 30th anniversary waves. Yeah, so it is decently old. My friend did sort of, I think we did a trade, or I gave him some money for it, so it'd be a fair trade. But yeah, I do have it. He did eventually get another 4-inch Amy. I believe it was brand new from like Vinted or something, which is a good place for cheap stuff or whatever. Yeah, that's Amy. Anyways, now we have everyone's favorite Sonic character, not mine though, Shadow the Hedgehog. This is another one of my older figures. This one, I believe this is one of my main presents from my parents on my 11th birthday as well. And then I got Tails and Metal Sonic from my nan. Yeah, I got those two from my nan. Yeah, Jack Shadow really sucks. It's one of their worst figures, same with Metal Sonic. I really don't want to be too harsh on them, but yeah, they're really bad figures, and I don't think that they've been re-released in a while, so that's a good thing. So we're keeping the world away from these. Even if he didn't have really loose joints, I think he would be an okay figure, but still, he's just not really ideal. Anyways, here we have another one that used to be my friend's, which is now mine. Yeah, I think Jack's Rouge is okay. She has elbow joints which can go the wrong way, so yeah. This one was originally my friend's, then he gave it to me through a trade, or I gave him some money and he gave me this. I don't know what it was, but yeah. This is mine now. I don't have Team Dark completed, nor do I have Team Rose completed, because I can't get Omega or Cream. Cream is getting a re-release soon, and hopefully she'll become available eventually in the UK. That's most likely. But I don't see Omega re-releasing anytime soon. I hope that he would. I always do, but I have no confidence. Anyways. Here, now. One of my old favourite figures. What used to be one of my favourite figures. One of my favourite characters. It's Big the Cat. Ironic of his name, he is quite a big figure. He's quite good. He's got some good detail, good joints, everything. I mean, I still. Oh, there we go. Focus is working now. Probably not having him so close to the camera. Yeah, I do love Big the Cat. I still think he's a great fit. I do feel like I've always thought there was something off about him. If that be just he looks a bit stubby or something, but other than that, it's one of Jax's many yet few perfect figures. So, yep. There's Big the Cat. Okay, here we're gonna go to one. This is one that I got off of eBay for, I believe, quite a good deal. It was like £10 with shipping or something. We have the Eggman. One of Jax's few figures, at least few non-Super Shadow figures, that hasn't been re-released since one of their early releases. Yeah. This is... I think that he did appear in one of the 30th anniversary waves. Or I feel like I've seen a picture somewhere of him in his packaging, but I don't know. He's an okay figure. I think the red plastic on his torso and arms just doesn't look the best. He feels quite fragile. Luckily, he's not, though. Overall, Jack's Eggman is just okay. He's not the greatest. It's a shame, because he's one of my favourite characters, but whatever. It's okay that his figure isn't perfect, because I've got a... Oh, he looks tiny compared to Big. Okay, now we have, as I previously stated, one of my least favourite Sonic figures in my entire collection. Or at least, Jack's specifically. We have Metal Sonic, yay! Similar with Tails, Jax has recently affected Metal Sonic. But they're older figures which are, in Tails' case, still quite frequently re-released, and Metal Sonic has had the odd re-release in like a multi-pack or something. But he just really sucks. Like, you can get him into a good standing neutral pose, and he generally looks like an okay figure. Like, he looks apart for what I'd expect from Jax, but he's a bad figure. Mine specifically has poor joints. It's not a pleasant figure. I don't like him. He can go on the floor with Eggman. Now, we're getting on to some more interesting fellas. One fella. We have Silver. His hand. Now, Jack Silver, it's one of the later figures, and he's generally quite nice. I'd say, like his head mold and everything looks great. His arms are a bit weirdly positioned. I kind of wish he just had like a recolored Sonic arms, but overall he is perfectly fine. It's really just his weird arms and that torso. I don't know what, I'm not going to call him fat, I'm just going to call him fluffy. Yeah, it just doesn't look the best. Plus the white paint of the chest fur, whatever you want to call it, that's quite chippable. I didn't use like some weird plastic magic to... I felt like it was going to fall over. Oh. Some weird plastic magic to make it so that he doesn't have to use paint for his torso chest fur thing. But no, they did this really like chippable paint, which partially due to the molding and everything, he can just barely turn his head. And I'm worried that his paint is going to chip, if that be on his muzzle or on the edges of the okay, I give up. The edges of the white plastic. Overall, I still like figure. It's just I still like Silver. But he could be a lot better. Plus, his inconsistencies in terms of how he's put together and whatever with Sonic is really annoying. Like, his legs look shorter and fatter, even considering his boots. Obviously, his torso is very fat and wide, which just doesn't look good compared to Sonic. His arms are quite thick as well. I mean, if we took their heads off and stuck them on a stick, they'd look perfectly fine, but whatever. Anyways, here we have another one of my favourite Sonic characters in figure form. It's Blaze the Cat. Who would have guessed that after Silver? And I think she's going to be even worse than standing than Silver. Yeah, I wouldn't say Blaze is anywhere near one of my favourite figures, but I do think that she definitely looks the part. Like, she looks great. I love her. I do kind of wish that the hands are a bit like if both of the hands were these open ones or whatever. But yeah, overall, she's not too bad. Her tail does feel a bit fragile. Like, it can pop out like Tails is, I'd imagine. But I feel like you'd have the risk of something getting damaged, and it wouldn't go back in properly, or it'd be loose or whatever. But yeah, and it's often quite awkward when I'm trying to pose her. I have to move her tail, and so it gets into a position that I don't want. But overall, I still love. I'm not gonna put her there. She's gonna fall down the side of the bed. She's gonna have to go on the floor, isn't she? You can sit down. Here we go. Yay! Actually, she can sit down well, ish, because of her tail. You know what? I give up. But yeah, I like Blaze. Now, we have some Sonic Adventure stuff. Here we have Chaos, who I was lucky to find at, like, I believe it was a Sainsbury's the one time. I just kind of looked at the Sonic stuff, and I wasn't necessarily looking for Chaos or expecting to see him. But boy, was I glad to see him. I got him. He was like £11. He was absolutely worth it. Like, I wouldn't say he's one of my favourite figures, but he's definitely one of Jax's best figures, considering that he just needs to be clear. His plastic also feels very strong for it being clear, because clear plastic, which I'm not sure if this is common knowledge or not, but clear plastic is often quite fragile sometimes. Like, you have Lego. Obviously, Lego's quite a hard plastic compared to most Jax figures, which kind of have a softer plastic. Yeah, Chaos feels like he's quite strong. He does have this weird blur at the top of his forehead, which could be implying his brain, which I just think that's some weird factory magic. And I mean, they could have put his brain in there. Obviously, that would have to require some, like, dual molding or whatever. I don't know. So, I feel like it would be more awkward to put a brain in there, so I get why they didn't do that, but that would have made the figure a complete 10 out of 10, but for now, he's a 9.9999 He's a 9.999 out of 10. Anyways, I can't speak. Here we have... Which is normally a good standard. It's on my bed, so it's not the most convenient. Tikal, one of the most recent new characters to be released. Obviously, we're soon to get Storm and Wave and that's about it. Yeah, Storm and Wave. Those, I believe, some people actually have found. Oh yeah, I know. I saw a Sunky and Tito the OG video, which both of them had Storm somehow. Hopefully, it'll come to the UK soon because they're normally quite good at getting figures at Smiths or whatever, unless you're Jet, which they never got on the first time around. Anyways, again, Tikal's a perfect figure. I don't know who to do next, so I just kind of picked one that catches my eye. Here's Jet, who I 100% know I got for my birthday last year. So obviously this is the re-release of Jet, which I believe he wasn't in. Or actually, was he? No, I believe Jet was in a new wave as a re-release. It wasn't like he was just randomly brought back. If you're gonna have a re-release, it's gonna be in one of the waves. I know when Mephiles was initially having a re-release specifically that I saw in the UK, not many people really talked about it. I wasn't going insane about it because the product images, they had no anniversary packaging. It was just the plain standard packaging. So I just figured that, oh, they're doing a random re-release of the original one. No, they weren't. It was a completely brand new re-release, which eventually leaks and news and whatever spread of... Why am I talking about Mephiles? This is Jet the Hawk. Anyways, Jet the Hawk. He's a great... I was actually really surprised by Jet. You can get plenty of great poses with him. He's got his extreme gear, which is literally perfect. And he still struggles to pose on that, which is basically a stand for him. Yeah. He's a perfect looking figure. He's got two neutral open hands, so say comparing him to Big the Cat, it's pretty much the ideal hands that I want for a Jax figure, not those weird. I don't mind a fist, but you've got to make the fist look good. Or an open hand, which is, to me, objectively the best. And it's like the most random characters get an open hand that's completely open or in a certain open hand expression, and then others don't. Anyways, that's Jet. Okay, this one's more of a bog standard figure. Here we have Supersonic, who's one of my more recent ones, I think. I don't believe he's my most recent one, but he is one of my more recent ones. I got him earlier this year, or like a few months ago now. I got him from Vinted for like, I don't know, £13 or something. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised with him as well when I got him, because I was like, oh yeah, it's a standard Sonic, but he's yellow and he has a different head. But it's actually, he's a bit more than that. I feel like, considering he's Super Sonic, he can fly and whatever, it actually kind of gives him more pose opportunities. I mean, base Sonic he can't fly, but he can fall, so he can still do mid-air poses with him. But yeah, I do love Jax Supersonic, and actually more than I think. Definitely not one of my favorite figures still, but one I do really like. Here we have one that's quite sought after, and yet surprisingly I don't hear many people talk about Omega or Charmy. Frankly, Charmy's not a popular character, but he hardly exists. People have him, but he's basically fake. Anyways, here's Neo Metal Sonic. I was actually quite lucky to get him, because initially, I think I asked for him 2024. I believe I asked for him 2024 for my birthday or something. But my friend who I asked, he couldn't find him. So obviously he got me something else. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll wait till Christmas. I did ask for him for Christmas. I didn't get him that Christmas. I'm not. Pardon me. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I didn't get him that Christmas. Oh yeah, and then it was like January or February of 2025. And I know some of the 2.5-inch Sonic figures were put on Smiths, and you could still order Neo Metal Sonic. So I thought this could be one of my last chances to get him, which it was. I haven't seen him in the wild since I ordered him from just straight from Smiths, and to get free shipping, I made the order more expensive. So I got a Sonic 3 2.5-inch Sonic and Shadow. And yeah, that's about it. So, I mean, when I got him, I was a bit underwhelmed, because, I mean, he still is a great, like, he looks great. Obviously, you can't have all the sharp parts, but he still does look great. But I feel like there was just something about him that felt a bit off. Overall, he's imperfect, but I still do really like him. I'm still very happy I got him, because he's definitely not going to get a re-release anytime soon. If he does, I will eat my Jack's Metal Sonic. Anyways, here we have a figure that probably everyone has now. It's Mephiles, yay! Obviously, this is going to be the re-release. Yeah, definitely. I thought, oh, he looks pretty good. But I thought, oh, he might not be as good as I think. So I was expecting, well, not expecting disappointment, but I was expecting not to expect something, if that was a good or bad thing. Well, whatever I was expecting, it was completely unexpected that I absolutely love this figure. Like, I think he's, being serious, I think he is one of Jax's finest. And if anyone says that, they're being serious, because the only bad thing about him is his feet, where they look like normal feet, when in the games he's literally got like these stub things. I get why they did that, because although he does have a base of his own, which I'll always have him in, even though mine's a bit wonky, so he doesn't stand up that well and he's fallen over multiple times. Well, he doesn't have those feet. I get why they did it, because he needs the flat feet so he can stand up properly, even though with those damn quills he still can't. But other than that, like, his mold is literally perfect. You can get, even without elbow joints, you can still get great range with his arms. You don't have to be too worried about the paint if it has any splodges or chips or whatever, because it's sort of a messy figure anyways. Like, he still has those main sort of points of detail, but it doesn't matter if they're slightly imperfect, because yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I'm only just noticing now that one of his hands has a load of the like lilac paint or something inside the palm, but the left hand, it doesn't have any. Which, I mean, that doesn't really bother me that much, but okay. Yeah, that doesn't really bother me that much. You know, it's kind of starting to bother me now. That looks incomplete. Ah, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, overall, he's literally a perfect figure. Like, he looks perfect. He has great movement, great joints, and great range in his articulation. Even though he's pretty much just like a modified Jack Shadow. He has all the exact same points of articulation. Yeah, that's Mephiles. This video is going to be long. It's going to be a pain to edit. Okay, last few from my main shelf. Here we have SBO. Interesting story behind this, which I probably won't explain in this video because it's already probably going to be a total of 3 hours, not 3 hours, 30 minutes or less. Because I've recorded like multiple different videos. I literally had to free up storage just to make this longer. Yeah. I actually do think Espio is quite a good figure. I mean, obviously, his eyes look very large. I'm not sure if this is normal, but his feet also look very large, which, I mean, I don't mind that much, but they do look very big. His articulation is great. One thing I didn't expect is that his wrist movement does not come from the top of the cuff there. It's actually from the white part of the hand itself. Like, that's a completely separate plastic piece. That's just glued onto the arm. So, if you can see it on my version, you do have the possibility of him having, like, wonky wrists, so one wrist will be more facing to the front, this is more facing to the side. I'm not sure if you know what I mean, but yeah. Yeah, he's imperfect. I mean, for one, he's smiling, but more problematic, he doesn't have his weird eyeliner thing, which is sort of similar to Silver, to be honest. But yeah, that's Espio. Here we have another figure which has a bit of a story to, which I'm not going to explain in this video. Vector the Crocodile. This is one figure which I would say it's perfect. At least, well, in terms of molding and articulation, he is perfect. Like, you got some surprising motion on him, even considering that he doesn't have knee joints, but he doesn't really need them because his legs are that diddly squat. That short, should I say. But yeah, I do think Jakks Vector looks great. I mean, he can't shut his mouth fully. It's looking like my Hammond Collection T-Rex right now. And his eyes look very, how do I put this, blank? Sort of emotionless. But yeah, he's got nice big hands as well, which just kind of adds some character to it. He looks great. I love him. You know, he can actually stand up there. Oh, he's covering Sonic. Last one on my main shelf, it's now completely empty. It's 9:37, I need to go to bed, but, well, not to bed, but I need to get ready for bed, because I just don't go to sleep. My shelf is now half clear. Here's Werehog. If the camera won't even focus, yeah, this guy I don't have much space for on my shelf, like I've barely just squeezed him in. And then after that, after I got Supersonic, I put him right next to him, which there's barely any space. But yeah, this is also a figure that's just literally perfect in every way. The only thing that's imperfect about him is that he has great range in his articulation, but it's almost there, but it's just not close enough. Because there's some poses that I've tried to get, but I can't. I'm just so close to not getting them because, like, say his head. Obviously, if you make it too tall, then it'll look off. And it does have great motion in his head, anyways. But yeah, it does sometimes hinder the movement around, especially considering that his quills are quite curved down. So yeah, there is that. And his hand as well. His hands they're nice and large. They've got some expression to it, which is pretty much the standard Werehog hand pose. But obviously, if you want to do like a fist or something, that will be a bit more awkward. But other than that, he's literally a perfect figure. Let's just lay him down there. It's going to be awkward to stand up. That's the, I guess that's the end of Ramble number 2. Let me stick up some of my favourites at the front of the thing just because I can. I don't know what it is, but it seems as though a lot of the big figures are some of my favourites. I'm just noticing that. I actually really like Blaze. I would consider her to be one of my favourites, but that's just because she's one of my favourite characters. And then we'll have the Burb to close out the video. Anyways, yep, That's about it. I still don't know how to close videos, so bye.